Morning everyone, it's Leanne. It's June the 27th. I'm standing along the shoreline of Lake Ontario. I'm at a new location. This is called the Guildwood. I've never been here before and I'm just coming down to the lake. You can see how steep it is, how high I still am from the trail that's behind me. It's quite a distance still down to the waterfront or to the shoreline. But just looking at this, pile of rubble along the shoreline here, there's bricks everywhere. This would be quite a feat to stack all this rock this high up on the shoreline. Just saying. I still think and suspect that this entire bluff area, look at the bricks coming right out of the ground here, this entire coastline is, well, there's evidence of ancient, or maybe even not so ancient, civilization. So this should be fun. I hope to find some new bits of evidence along the way. Look, this rubble comes all the way up this far. Maybe this was brought in. Could be. Blending the new with the old. Could very well be. But let's go take a look. Let's find out some stuff. Okay, so I'm a little farther down the trail. I'm a little bit closer to the shoreline. And I'm going to go check this out. It looks like one of the other breakwaters I've been exploring, but it looks more blown out, looks more damaged. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. Alright, so this is interesting. So here's the trail I've just come down. I just scrambled down there. And looking across here, check out the size of these huge cylindrical piping. I guess it looks like concrete from here, but who knows what it's made with. Where are those coming from? And there's another one behind me, another couple, one here. And then there's a couple more way far down there. It just seems so odd to have these massive circular pipes, chunks of them, just against the shoreline. And this is also interesting. I'm going to go take a look at that. There's a pipe still coming right out of what looks like a rock. And we have various stages of pebblecrete on the beach here with big pieces of metal coming out. And even under these huge hunks of stone, which I believe are transition brick, we've got metal pieces coming out everywhere, square edges, metal bricks, brick all over. And just look at this layout, like so much of the shoreline have these beautiful curvatures. They're works of art. And then we've got, okay, oh, this here. So I'm gonna scroll it a little bit, sorry. And then we have this sort of mix mash of boulders. Like it just doesn't add up. It doesn't follow the style of what I've been looking at, right? If these were human-made in this past century within our civilization, would they have left this looking like this when everything else is so precise? Yeah, I don't think so. Let's go look at this over here. All right, I think so much of this beach is fused together just underneath these loose pebbles. And I mean, there's a reason why there's so much metal still here on this waterfront. It's because it'd be an extremely difficult job to blast it out and get rid of it all. I mean, everywhere you look in the ground here, there's metal coming out. Metal. I think this is all fused, melted brick. Okay, pebbleizing, you've got hunks of brick still showing. Then you've got these metal pieces coming right out. Here. Okay, this is just still deep in the ground. Leftovers from the melted building. Right here. Right here. And then these pieces just continue as well as the bird. Excuse me. Crazy, eh? And there's two big pipes there. Let's try to get over there and take a look. Okay, check these out. What are they doing here? And then in front of me there's a nice looking rock. Okay, it doesn't really look concretey at all. It looks like a stone. But you can still see the imprints of the rebar that were in it, through it, before or as it was melting. And here's another looking rock. And you've got the metal ends still showing themselves right there. Isn't that nuts? Crazy. And then we've got this gravelly looking stone, you know, mid-transition, all sorts of bricks, melted bricks. Got a set of stairs behind me. But let's go over here. We've got some cool stuff going on here. First of all, more of this metal coming right out of what looks like a rock. It's a concrete, stabilizing into bigger pieces. This looks all melted. You can still make out some of the shapes. Some of the C14 is left there. And bigger pieces showing themselves. There's a nice melted brick. Ooh, we have a big stack over here. This is cool. Cinder blocks. Huh. Ooh. There's some nice bricks. Oh, yeah. Check this out. Okay, this whole side looks like concrete. We've got some metal pieces here, but if you look on the side, gotta be careful where I step. See, there's a layer of bricks right there, transitioning. Those are still the brick into this pebblecrete. And you can see more on this side. Can you see? In here, see the red? Those are bricks. There's a brick. Oh, here and further on, see that? So the underside is still showing its brickness. Okay? Huh. That's awesome. And then take a look at this, the same. These bricks are beginning to melt, beginning to change their shape, the rounded edges, and the farther down you go, the more it becomes pebblecrete, the more it becomes the concrete looking material. Oh goodness, sorry, this is just so not smooth. Okay, I'm gonna stop moving for a second. Just take a look at this. Isn't that awesome? So I think all of these hunks, all of these pieces that have pebbleized were once this, looking like this. Okay, here's another pebbleized piece, and you can still see chunks of brick in the side there. It's all the same, just at a different stage of transition. There are those pieces again. Huh. Isn't that awesome? There's some more brick back in there. You see underneath there? All right, let's keep going. All right, check this out. So I was just looking at this pile of bricks, and I showed you this piece with these two chunks of brick still in it, as the rest is transitioning. Look around the side, and there's more. Can you see these? 1 brick, 2 brick, 3 brick, 4, 5, 6. Okay, still showing their redness, their orangeness. Isn't that awesome? I love that. All right, check this out. Just caught a glimpse. Right here. It's another example. Careful. Of pebbleizing brick. Isn't this incredible? Beautiful red piece that's really scorched like a dark brown. Nice orange. Looking fairly intact still, but the rest is pebbleizing. Huh. That's awesome. And then we've got these rounded pillar-like numbers, which is interesting because at the top of this hill, this is called the Guildwood, and there are, oh, there's a transitioning brick right there. There are what look like Corinthian columns or Roman or Greek-looking columns where people go and have wedding pictures and all sorts of fancy schmancy stuff happen. Now, this is just at the top of this hill, and I was hoping to come across it on my way down. I didn't see it. Again, this is my first time here. Well, there's some more transitioning brick right here. Oh yeah, look at it all being churned up, still connected. But anyway, I'm suspicious that these columns up at the top of the bluffs are old world, and they're just a little pocket of survival, and it's what's left over from this former civilization. And I just wonder if these rounded columns have anything to do with that as well. All right, I'm going to try to make my way over there. All right, folks, check this out. This is an awesome piece. Look at all those bits of brick being churned up, broken up, melting, pebbleizing, gravelizing, whatever you want to call it-izing. That is awesome. And I think that this and that and everything here was once like this. This is just at a different state of transition. That is awesome. All right. Keep going. Oh, hi guys. Okay, I'm a little farther along the shoreline, and I just came across this beauty right here. So this gorgeously, if I show you my camera, shows transitioning chunks of brick into these beach pebbles of various colors and designs and shades of gray and pink and peach and whatnot. Isn't that amazing? Look on the side here. It's transitioning further along into this concrete mortar looking like stuff. Okay. Nobody builds like that. Nope. Isn't that awesome? Excellent. Some metal still on the far side there. That's awesome. I'm going to take some pictures of this. Okay. All right, I'm going to say something kind of crazy. I wonder if the term rock and roll actually comes from the elites who know about this history and this reset, this X Factor event. If the term rock and roll is in reference to understanding what happens during these resets, during these events. That the brick turns into rocks, and then the rocks eventually pop out, and they roll away. They roll onto the beach and nobody knows any differently. All right, they turn to rock and then they roll. I don't know. I know it seems silly and really simplistic. Just throwing it out there. Oh, and I really liked Jen's Tom Petty video that she put out the other day. I think it was Tom Petty. Makes so much sense. I think all the elites know this, the upper elites, certainly in the Tavistock Institute, and how they mind control the masses through music and through song, through lyrics, to keep us ignorant of our greater truth. And the term rock and roll is more mockery in our faces. Yeah, that's just what I'm wondering. Let's keep going. There's so much to look at along here. And this is a really interesting rounded sort of glob of melted brick turned sort of gravelly. There's interesting melt lines, rebar lines. There's another pipe. I just walked around somewhere over there, just an end of it. What's that doing there? More of the same, but I just caught a glimpse of some bricks up here. Let's go take a look together. Oh, this looks like brick too. You can still see the lines. Yeah, you can still see the individual bricks. Okay, that's all pebbleized. And this looks like this. Faint. And this, you can still make out the lines there, back there. Okay, still make out the exterior brick shapes, but if you look down, it's all pebbleized. See that? That's all that's left. That's amazing. I won't try to get back in there. If you saw well enough. It's everywhere. That's a brick stack right there. That's C14 out of it. That's still fused with that concretized brick. Mimico maybe? I don't know what that brick says. We continue. Alright, once again I haven't gone anywhere, but I just wanted to show you where we are in relation to the top of the bluffs. It's not as high here as it is farther down the lake where I've been exploring the last few weeks. Okay, but it's the same building. You can see brick lines up there. And I believe all of this rubble comes from when this building was blasted out. You can still see those brick lines, yellow bricks, C14 out. Just look there. See the brick on the side. Just look up there. Alright, rock and roll, rolling stone, whatever you want to call it, whichever term. I don't think it's an accident. See that rock start to pop out right there. What were these used for? Like what was here, okay, within our civilization, within like current modern memory, what were these used for? Nuts. Alright, I haven't gotten too far. This is fairly tricky scrambling with all the metal. But anyway, this just doesn't add up to me whatsoever. And I found this rounded looking column. It's not a pipe, it's solid. Now there's a weird something or other there. I don't know what that is. It's like ceramic or something, like it's hard. But you can almost see like little divots, like it almost looks like a Corinthian column. That's not Corinthian, but you know what I mean with the columns when they had the little divots all the way up and down. I guess Corinthians refer to the top of the column. But yeah, so this is here. And once again, just not adding up. Check out all this rubble. It's a smashed world, completely. And it's no wonder, you can't even see this from the trail, and it's super, super tricky to get to. And maybe not the smartest thing for me to be doing, but I'm doing it anyway. All right. Let's keep going. All right, I have a couple things to show you here. Sorry if the wind is too strong. There's another transitioning brick to that looks really stone-like, stony. And next to me here is another cylindrical, huge cylindrical piece with metal coming at the side there, or sorry, at the end, excuse me, on the side. With this strange number here, all of this pebble crate thrown out with metal. It just goes on and on. Pretty square up here. Let's go take a look. All right, once again, oh, that's chilly on my legs. I haven't gone anywhere. I just changed positions, and here's a melted piece of cinder block, which I just keep finding along here, along with the brick. And I am of the suspicion that this was also used at some point historically before this transition event or series of events happened. And you can still see the brick lines in this piece right here. Here's the end of this large column. Really interesting, and it just ends right there. So it's like a piece of smashed material. Now these rocks are super slippery because of the slime on it all there. Grasses, the weeds. All right, what do we have here? Oh, let's go take a look. Oh, that's a nice piece. Awesome. It burrs. That's what we're talking about. Give me a second to get over there. Okay, I apologize if I'm sort of all over the place here. I just wanted to start at this end showing you these old, what 369 pipes coming through this large rectangular piece. We'll get over there in a second. I keep finding this along the shoreline. Same size rebar, sort of cut, bended off at the side, like that length. That could have just been left like this from the event. But what I like about this piece is that you can see some of the pebbles rockifying right here and here, and then there's another one right there, still retaining some of the red brick color. All right. Nice. Here's the end. Oh, yeah. Rock and roll. This rectangular piece, infused brick, transitioning. This looks like a rock. Metal coming out. Oh, look here. This kind of gives me the heebies a little bit. I don't know why. It feels like this. So cute. Bizarre, eh? Huh. Yeah, it really gives me the heebies. For whatever reason. But, so be it. Huh. There's that infused brick. Huh. What could that have been? This is also interesting. Okay, I saw a couple pieces, or a piece of that just over here, not too far. What happened here to produce this effect? And the wire, the metal is still poking through. And there's an end here. It's kind of interesting. Just has an end. Smashed out rock. Okay, so this is interesting. There's the rectangular brick with the holes that gives me the heebies. And then this is a new shape of concrete that I found, again with this square opening. I wonder if that and that went together at some point. I don't know. Okay, so I think this is what they do, okay? So the trail is just beyond this little stand of green and flowers. And you could bring a vehicle down here, and I think this may be, a lot of this may be modern rubble that they've brought in and just thrown over the bank here just to make it look like, yeah, this is just what they do. They just do this to protect the shoreline. Okay, that makes sense. That's what I've always believed. Okay, a lot of the stuff does look like it might be more modern, but they blend it in with the old. They blend it in with the old. There's another like column looking piece. You could almost, like that looks like the base. That flares out a little bit, or maybe the top, I don't know. You can see some almost like design or ornamentation or shape to it. Okay? I think this is what they do. Nothing to see here, people. This is just what we do. We just bring bricks down all the time to protect the shoreline. Yeah, okay. Great. But they infuse it with the old stuff so people don't look too closely or think too much about it. We'll take a look up here, there. Yeah, there's some cool stuff coming up. And check these out. Like, what are these doing here? Seriously. Like, what were these ever used for in the last 100 years along the shoreline here? Nuts. Check this out. Check out this huge hunk of transitioning material. This is like cinder blocky. Still make out some of the shapes. All being churned up. That's nuts. Wow. And that's still coming out of it. This is there, you can still really see shapes still showing itself. Incredible. Whoa, that's cool. Take a look. Alright, this is seriously crazy. This is the 6th time I've found this. So I'm just sitting here next to this blob of rockifying brick. Alright. This right here. See this right here? I'm not kidding you, that's wood. I can, see look, I can scratch it with my fingernail. It's fibrous. It's wood. It's soft, I can dig my nail, you can see. Okay, what is this piece of wood doing infused in this? Okay, take my word for it. See me scratching it away? See the fibers? Nuts. Absolutely nuts. Okay, so the shoreline trail is opening up nicely, and wouldn't you know it, a lot of these pebblecrete and old pieces of civilization are now in a more boulder state, so there's not so much to hide. Now there is what looks like to be a line of melted something or other up there, but we'll take a look at that. But I just wanted to show you that, you know, right where the trees end, quite difficult to scramble along. Things are going to become easier in just a second. Wouldn't be surprised if this is all by design. Yeah, these melt ones. Isn't that awesome? That's awesome. I love that. Okay, here's another nice piece of transitioning brick. Right here. Isn't this awesome? Oh, it's heavy. Back looks like that. Okay, this is neat because we often see things like this and we're like, oh yeah, look at the mortar lines or the brick lines still. Okay, but they look like they're bigger pieces on this side, but this is what's going on the inside. Isn't that awesome? That just fell out. Amazing. I love it. Okay, I'm just a little farther along the shoreline and I found a really nice example of a piece of rock that looks sort of like limestone, I guess. It's quite big, but check out all this melted metal. All right, this is all melted metal. Is that nuts? So a piece of quarried limestone would not come out having these metal bits all fried and sizzled to the edge. No, not a chance. Okay? This has undergone a change of state. Leaving these little hints of metal. See, it looks like limestone. Not with all those little bits coming out. Ha! Called cooled sheet. It is my sheet. Love. Ooh! There's another like column piece. Check it out. Whoa! Yeah! Look at that! Super cool. That's nuts. It looks like a friggin' column. And look how big it is. Okay. There's my foot. That's nuts. Huh. Whoa. What's going on again? Let's take a look. Oh, interesting. Nuts. Huh. It's just amazing. What did this old show? Oh, here's another piece. What did this look like? Holy moly. And there's another huge piece of piping down there. And look. Okay, this is another piece of a column, like this. Because this is sort of on the one side of it for whatever reason. Not in the center, but I think that that's attached. You can see it's attached. It was part of the structure. And here it's round, but that's where that would have been. Right there. Oh, and there it is right here. Here's the square piece of metal that probably was right along here, which is old column by the looks of it. Just like that is. Just like, let's take a look here. Oh goodness, yeah, you can see around, see? It's the same. smashed out. Totally. Nuts. Incredible. And look. There's the old building. Wow. Let's keep going. I think I see it. Okay, there was no more column down here. It was some rectangular pieces that looked sort of column-like. But anyway, a couple things while I'm standing right here. Number one is this piece. How beautiful purple that is. Okay, that would be a rock I would collect. You can still see the breakout lines in there. It's all blended together, retaining its color slightly, which is nice. And like, what are these? Seriously, there's more of this. Like, how can a city put up signs along this trail with a straight face? Signs that say no littering. And then there's this here. Like, right. And this, for whatever reason, is really white. It stands out. Something unique. Yeah, it's nuts. All right, I found another piece of column. I'm standing on it right now. You can see the rounded end, the beautiful colors in it. And it's my feet. You can still see some shape to it. Not perfectly rounded, but it's rounded. I don't have much room to walk here. And it ends right there. Okay. Isn't that nuts? This really, here, I'm going to try to get over here. It's super slippery. Oh, nice piece of metal. Oh yeah, look. The metal sticking out there. Isn't that awesome? Huh. Nuts. Okay, this is an interesting piece right here. It's circular. We have some transitional bricks right there. And this looks like an interesting piece right here. Interesting shape. I haven't seen that before. Who knows what this was? Anyway. Rounded end. And then things become a lot bigger. And they begin to assemble themselves more into puzzle piece fashion, where it's not so jumbled up like this, a little bit farther down. And then that beautiful, connected, smooth, edged shoreline continues for many miles this way. Oh, I hope I have enough juice for this. Just a little farther along. We have some transitioning cinder blocks. Okay, just want to move fast. There's a couple things here, if I can. Shoot, where was I going to go next? Oh, here's another round column. Right here. Again, not sure what that is. So I just wanted to show you this. That, I think, is just a later stage of these, or a more combined stage. And yes, here's the last thing I wanted to show you along here, is that there's another one of these members. Okay, looks like a foundation for holding something quite large, needing some stability. And it's transitioned right into what we would call rock. Isn't that crazy? Huh. Alright, I found another column right here. You can see the obvious base, the metal going through it. That just ends right there. Incredible. Okay, and here's another nice example of this large hunk of pebblecrete with a piece of brick still not quite transitioned, and we still have the metal showing itself. There's another nice piece of it right up there.